Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mathematical Lens by Ganitha. In this video, we are going to continue with chapter number 5, Parallel and Intersecting Lines of grade 7 Mathematics of the new NCERT textbook Ganitha Prakash. So we are going to discuss the figure it out exercise, the last exercise of this chapter, which is given on page number 123 till 125. So before we start solving this, I just want you to learn few symbols for each type of angle. Like suppose you want to identify vertically opposite angles. So that you need to see a symbol X. So suppose you see a symbol X over here. These two are vertically opposite, 81 and this. You can see an X being formed over here. Right? So you need to remember the symbol X for vertically opposite angles. Then alternate interior angles. For alternate interior angles, you need to identify the letter Z. Right? So the orientation may be different, like Z may be like this. This is also Z being formed over here. So these two are alternate interior angles. Z may be of any orientation, but if a Z is formed, then they are alternate angles. Correct? Now the third is corresponding angle. All these are equal if the lines are parallel. For corresponding angles, you need to identify the letter F. So suppose I take this figure, I identify the letter F. So 52 and this angle will be corresponding angle. Right? Again, the orientation of F may be different. Suppose this is also F. Okay. If I show you one more F, it can be, because there are 4 pairs of corresponding angles. Right, so first you should remember these 3 symbols. For vertically opposite angle, identify X. For alternate angles, identify Z. Corresponding angles, identify F. Now based on this knowledge, we'll solve the exercise, the figure it out exercise. Question number 1, find the angles marked below. Right, so first remember the letters which we just understood, the learnt. So you can see we need to find out A, and 48 is given, so you can see Z is being formed. So they are alternate interior angles, means A will also be 48 degree. You can write down the reason, alternate interior angles. Correct. Now let us see the second figure. Here also, if you see the symbol, the notation of parallel lines. So the Z is being formed over here again. So B will also be 52 degree. The reason being same, alternate interior angles. So if the lines are parallel, alternate interior angles will be equal. Correct? Now let us see the third diagram. Here this part is 99 and this part is 81. So we want to find out C. So again we identify, we can see a Z over here. Right, so 81 and C, they are alternate interior angles. So C will be 81 degree. Here there are two angles given. Don't get confused with that. Just identify the letter. So you can write down the reason. Alternate interior angles. Always write down the reason. Okay. Let us see next question D. Here they have asked D. This side is 81. This is 99. Now if we see 99 and D, they are forming a Z again. See the various orientations of Z, right? So don't just identify Z as the Z we write as a letter. Any orientation of Z will give you alternate angles. So D is equal to 99 degree. Right, this is 99. So I'll just show you. These two are alternate and this is the Z being formed. Right? Now question number E. In E they have asked E. There are many angles given over here. 97, 83. But we just see the line, these two lines are parallel. This is a transversal. Right? So you can see Z formed over here. So E will be alternate to 69 degree. So E is 69 degree. Again, reason for both is alternate interior angles. So don't get confused with so many angles which are given. You just concentrate on what is asked and find out either alternate or corresponding or maybe vertically opposite angle to get that answer. Now let us see question F. In question F, first identify the parallel lines. These two are parallel lines. You can see the notation. This is a transversal. Right, now here Z is not being formed. Both the angles are on the same side of the transversal. So you remember interior angles on the same side of transversal, they give us, their sum is 180 degree. Right, so F plus 132 is equal to 180 degree. Right, so how will we get F? By subtracting 180 minus 132. Right, so that will be equal to 48 degree. You can write down the reason again. Interior angles on the same side of transversal. They are not equal, they are supplementary. Remember that. Same side of transversal. The name itself suggests, you can see this is transversal and both are on the same side. Right, so F will be equal to 180 minus 132, that is 48 degree. Now let us go further. Question number G. So here again so many angles are given. Don't get confused with that. We need to find G. So we find out either corresponding angle or alternate angle. So we are not getting alternate angle. This is outside. These two lines are parallel. This is a transversal. First identify that. This is a transversal and the two lines parallel. Now G and this 122. You can see an F is formed over here. If I draw lines over here, you can identify F being formed over here. So they are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are equal. So G will be equal to 120 degree. Write down the reason, corresponding angles. Right? We learned the letter for corresponding angle, that is F. Now here H is asked and said this is 75, this is 120. So these two are not alternate angles, these two lines are parallel. And this is a transversal. First identify the parallel line and its transversal. Otherwise you will get confused with 120 degree. So these two lines are parallel, you can see the notation. And this is a transversal and a Z is being formed. So H will be 75 degree. Reason being alternate interior angles. Right? Now let us see question number I. So here again there are so many angles given, right? And we need to find out I. So first we identify let me change the color. Identify the parallel lines. You can see the notation, this is parallel. And this is the transversal. Right? So if we see a transversal, you just identify the Z. So if we identify Z, I and 54, they are forming the Z. So I will be equal to 54 because both are alternate interior angles. Correct? Now let us see J, question number J. Again, we need to find out the symbol J. Now, if you may get confused this with 124. They are looking like alternate angles, but they are alternate angles, of course, but they are not. The lines are not parallel. We need to identify the lines which are parallel. Right? These three lines are parallel, and these two are the transversal. Parallel lines. If you want, you can give names to these parallel lines. Right? So first identify the lines which are parallel and then identify the transversal and then go to find out this J. So we cannot find J and this 97 directly. So if we give this name as angle 1, suppose. So you can see a Z being formed over here. So angle 1 is equal to 97 degree. Both are alternate interior angles. Okay. Now you see angle 1 and angle J. They are forming F. Identify F over here. Right, so angle 1 and angle J are corresponding angles. So J will be equal to 97. Corresponding angles are equal. Right? So there are further questions in this figure it out exercise, which we will cover in the next video. Thank you.